Hello, I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com. This is a chart for the full moon 13th of July 2022, set for London, and it's at 1937 British summer time. And although this is coming out on the 14th, it's a super moon, so you'll still really be able to see it, hopefully, if there's a clear night. And the super moon occurs when the moon is really close to our Earth. Stunning and spectacular and luminous. And always it's Capricorn full moon, and here we have it, the moon right next to Pluto. Now I checked back and we didn't have that last year. Moon was very wide, it didn't join Pluto. So Pluto is it's the god of the underworld, the unconscious. It takes about 248 years to go around the whole zodiac. America is celebrating its Pluto return right now. So big stuff around power and buried power. Venus is also incredibly relevant at this full moon. In Gemini, not a sign Venus is particularly fond of, however, it's not a problem. And Venus is in a very, very, very powerful, wonderful trine, a flow of energy to Saturn. However, it's also in a right angle to Neptune. Both are very, very different. Saturn is all about, and this is a Capricorn moon, being focused, being diligent, having order, being an authority, and also everything to do with Saturn is practical, it's realistic, it's grounded. So therefore, using the energy of this supermoon is very good for making sure you haven't missed things out. And I noticed I have experienced that, especially since Mercury was retrograde, and it seemed forever. It's no longer retrograde. However, it is quite close to the sun, so that's to be aware of, to check things, make sure you've got all your ducks in a row. Use that lovely excitement. Now, Venus with Neptune, the James Webb Telescope is actually that. It is everything to do with every planet, basically. These are pictures going back billions of years to the Big Bang, which is Pluto, and also Chiron is meant to be originated back then, one of the centaurs. And also, when it was launched on Christmas Day last year, that's when Venus was retrograde and it joined Pluto in Capricorn exactly on that day. I always wonder, are astronomers aware of astrology? But it doesn't matter. That is an incredible signature, and it's very relevant of Venus, the story of Persephone going into the underworld. Now, it was, of course, Christmas Day, the sun was at 3 degrees of Sagittarius. And what's Sagittarius all about but long distance travel? So a Jupiter energy. And therefore, what have we got here at the full moon? Here's Jupiter, is in Aries now, at a right angle to, which planet is it going up to? Jupiter. Actually, it's not. It's Chiron. It's the wounded healer at a right angle to that sun, and very much about Mercury. Healing the pioneer energy, feeling wounded if you want to do things, you want to go first, which is a Mars energy. And Mars at the moment, if you notice, it's not aspected, that little dot. Where's Mars? Over here. If you look at this diagram here, there's nothing connecting to Mars. So Mars is not happy, called planets happy or not happy, in Taurus, because Taurus is all about stability, it's governed by Venus, and that whole feeling of things are slowing down. What is going on in the world right now and in your chart? So Neptune in Pisces is in its own sign, and therefore that difficulty that Venus is having with Neptune. Neptune can be illusion, it can be scandal, it can be also the movies, can uplift us. It's our vision. We need it. We need it. It's our dream world. It's very much the mystic as an archetype. And what is Venus saying here? Well, it's saying be practical with Saturn, but also wounds. Chiron is about wounds. And Venus in Gemini is governed by Mercury, in Cancer to do with the moon. It's very much, I notice my dreams. As an astrologer, I'm very aware of planets changing sign, which is always a difficult time, and often they do it exactly the same day. We get two things changing. And we have Saturn retrograde, Neptune retrograde. The nodes are always retrograde, and Pluto's retrograde. So there's a lot of looking back. That's the nature of retrograde. Good news, well, Jupiter is the good news planet. However, it's not doing much. If I go down here, I look, there's nothing here. There's really only a semi-sextile, semi-square rather, pardon me, to Saturn. So hope for the future at the moment is kind of in the balance. Things will be changing very much at the next new moon, because then Mars joins Uranus. That happens only every 2 years. So that really is time for change. And here in the UK, of course, we are having a leadership contest for the to be the next Prime Minister. And it's a leadership contest for the Conservative Party. And I am looking, of course, at the candidates and seeing, guessing who might win that contest. It's very difficult because I don't know times of birth. I know dates of birth. So therefore, be aware of news, because it always reflects back to us on the planet. But those images coming from that telescope are stunning. And that, to me, is vision, being uplifted to know that we are part of this galaxy, this whole essence of who we really are as spiritual beings. And that's a prayer which is also very relevant right now for each of us to have a spiritual practice of some nature, whatever that is. It can be, I use tarot cards every day to help me. I use process cards, Chuck Spezzano's process cards. I like Caroline Myss. I like her book on prayer, very much so. And I also, Wayne Dyer, I did have the privilege of meeting him once. Very beautiful man, extraordinary life story. And his book, The Power of Intention, sits right in front of me. So I want each of you to go, well, where do you turn to when you are having a real bad day or bad year? What lifts you up into that imagination, that other world, that Neptune energy, and also laughter. Laughter can totally negate depression. So thank you for watching. I'm Pam Carruthers of healingstars.com, and I am available for consultations. This month I still have quite a few spaces left. So if you need help, please think about me. I can really help bring you to have peace of mind, as a client said only to me the other day. Thank you. Pam Carruthers, healingstars.com.